the OTC Roman Reigns and Jey Uso against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, of course, with Paul Heyman there with that smug look on that photo that I'm showing there. Paul doing some things, man, tonight, planting some seeds in Jey Uso's head, trying to make him remember, hey, he didn't mention specific things all the way back in the COVID era when Jey was feuding with Roman, which, Andy, I was honestly surprised about. I thought that would be the first thing that he brought up, but instead, talking about how Roman chose solo instead of Jey, he sort of alluded to the COVID stuff, but really planting the seeds of doubt in Jay's head about Roman's loyalty.
Yeah, and obviously this bloodline storyline will never end, and so this is just kind of another piece of that puzzle. And yeah, you're right. Like it's sowing seeds of doubt. Even though Roman was there to stand by him tonight, there have been multiple times over the last however many years that has not been the case. Right. Where Roman has kind of left Jey out to dry, specifically Jey. And so there's a lot of callbacks that they can have to that, and that they have had to that tonight. But I will say this, I really enjoyed the go home angle tonight. Like it's kind of been the same thing the last couple of weeks of just, everybody kind of brawling, Jey and Roman normally getting the upper hand, blah, 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 whatever. They did a great job of making Braun Breaker feel extremely important.
Yeah.
And doing a good job of making him kind of step into that Seth Rollins role now that Seth is out with an injury or, whatever the case is, whatever the deal is there.
We'll get to that.
And yeah, and so I really love what they did tonight. I think Braun Breaker is, probably my biggest regret in life is talking about how bad I hated Braun Breaker before I even saw him really wrestle in NXT 2.0 and all that happened.
Listen, you and I just had an instant raw reaction to the opening night of NXT 2.0. It's okay.
We did.
All is forgiven.
We were right about Von Wagner.
We were. That's what we were right about. Real quick, when Braun was doing the off-mic promo stuff with Roman, telling him it's his ring, it's his ropes, all these people work for him, do you think they did that on purpose with the promo that Roman cut several years ago when he did the exact same thing? Do you think that was on purpose, or a couple weeks ago when Braun was cutting the promo with Roman, is it just, playing off that?
I think it's both. I think they did it on purpose because was it Roman's promo with Cody? I think it was a couple years ago. When he ran through that list of this is my ring, those are my ropes. It was somebody.
I don't remember if it was him. I don't remember, but yeah, it was obviously during the title reign.
Yeah, and so
I want to say that. No, that wouldn't have been right because that was during COVID. I was going to say it was during the triple threat match leading to WrestleMania 37, but that was during COVID.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed, I love that callback too of, we always talk about Roman's great on the mic, but when he doesn't have a mic in his hand, he may cut like the best promo of all time. Like when he's just sitting there talking to himself. Braun did it, like Braun doing that back to Roman, saying those things words for word. I really think is a nice touch of adding the stakes even more and making Braun feel a little bit more on Roman's level, like bringing him up to that level even more. So I think they did it intentionally to call that back, but also because of what they've been saying the last couple of weeks in promos too.
And also to build to that eventual singles match between them. Like we're not getting that right away. This just builds the intrigue to get to that singles match somewhere down the road for sure.
Yeah. And this also makes me think that the plan was probably Seth Roman at SummerSlam.
100%.
But this is a great way to get around that match as well.
Yeah, 100%. I do agree that I think that was the plan for SummerSlam, which would have been that's one of those that why haven't we seen that? Only, we've just seen it the one time or two times if you count Money in the Bank 2016.
16? Yeah.
I think so. But this match is filled with stars. You've got Paul Heyman. You have the possibility of Seth showing up, hurt or not, but we'll get into Seth when we talk about our next match a little bit. But with Roman Reigns, there's always a possibility that his match, no matter title or not, goes on last. Do you think this goes on last night one, or do you think this opens night one?
I don't think it goes. I don't think it closes the show.
Okay.
I think I don't even really think it opens either. I think it's
Okay.
probably going to be semi-main. I would
Okay.
say like right before the main event, or maybe like 2 matches before and then a match in between, and
Okay.
then the main event. But like you said, I mean it's it's literally a 50-50 toss up of I'm not shocked if it does main event the show too.
Yeah, that's me. It's like Punk and Gunther, which we're going to talk about in a minute, obviously deserves to be the main event, but none of us are ever shocked when Roman Reigns is the main event, because he clearly, over the last couple weeks with him coming back, Andy, you can tell, dude, that he's the guy. Like, it's incredible from where we were in 2017, 2018 with this guy. And now he is literally, he's fighting Cody Rhodes for the face of the company at this point. Like, I normally would say, like, dude, Cody's the guy. He's there all the time, blah, blah, blah. But Andy, just the way that people have responded to Roman this time, oh my gosh, dude, it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. I think it's definitely a toss up between the two of them. I I think this, not jumping way too ahead, but I think the Cena match could potentially push Cody down even more, depending on what happens, because there's a lot to live up to. Well, not live up to. There's a lot to fix
Yes.
from what happened at WrestleMania. But I do agree. Like, I think Roman, I get so annoyed sometimes with guys like Roman who don't show up week to week, or who are gone for 6 months or whatever. Then that music hits and the pop happens, and you're like, I get it. Like, I get, I get the reaction. I get not being there week to week. He has filled that Brock Lesnar role of special attraction, come in and the fans go ballistic every single time.
Yep.
And so that's definitely the role that he has come into.
And Roman has more than 5 moves, so it makes it even better.
And he's actually can wrestle. Yeah.
And Brock can low key talk, but Roman Reigns can talk. So that helps for sure.
I'm not afraid of what Roman's going to say. I was always terrified of what Brock was going to say.
That is fair. All right. This is our preview and prediction show, and we've previewed the match. Now we're going to predict the match, as we're going to do for all 12 matches. If you're picking here, Andy, Roman and Jay, or Braun and Bronson to come out on top here?
Honestly, I am picking. I'm picking Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to get the win.
Okay.
By Braun Breaker pinning Roman Reigns.
Okay.
I think that is a great way to, maybe Seth gets involved and causes a distraction. Maybe the third or fourth man now finally appears or whatever. I don't know. But I think Braun Breaker gets the win after pinning Roman Reigns.
City Kitty in the chat. Roman Reigns gets the most pop for the least amount of effort. That is
true.
That's true.
Very true. Very true.
No, nail on the head right there.
And it's crazy because he used to have to work so hard to get a pop, yes, and now he just shows up.
Yeah. Now the music hits, and he doesn't even have to show up. The music just has to hit, and it's fine. All right. I'm picking Roman and Jay here simply because that's a safe bet. I just don't see Roman Reigns losing in a first match back. I get that they might be building to something, but I have a hard time believing, especially after the way that it went off the air tonight, that Roman and Jay are going to lose. But Andy and I have been on opposite sides before. Andy's been right and I've been wrong, vice versa. So I'm interested to see how the rest of this. Yeah, one of us is right. I'm interested to see how the rest of this preview goes. The next match to talk about, I alluded to it. We mentioned Seth Rollins, and it's going to be hard not to talk about Seth Rollins when we talk about the World Heavyweight Championship match at SummerSlam, possibly the main event of Saturday. Gunther defends against CM Punk. Andy, before we plug Seth Rollins into this scenario, because I think a lot hinges on that. When you look, you are a fan of both of these guys, big time. How are you satisfied with the build here? Are you liking the promo work back and forth? What's been your feel on this?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's been a fine build for a match that I think is going to deliver because of both guys that are involved.
Yep.
I think the promo tonight was fantastic by both guys.
Yes.
I thought Gunther did a great job of being the heel, and then Punk just comes out and shows us and reminds us why he is one of the best, if not the best, with a microphone in his hand and a big title match coming up. And so I like where we're heading. Obviously, it's not like to a Seth Rollins degree or to a Drew McIntyre level or even to like Roman Reigns level, but for a SummerSlam feud for a world title, I think they've done a really good job of building this one up. Just because, again, with some of these matches, especially with guys like Punk or matches that we have been wanting to see for a while, you don't have to do a lot of build to get
Right.
excitement out of it and to get
Right.
a lot of intrigue. And especially when it's involving two guys that can cut a pretty decent promo to a really great promo, just send them out there and let them do their thing. And I think it builds itself.
Yeah, I think they've done their promos have been very entertaining. Punk can cut a promo in his sleep. He could read the phone book and make it exciting. And Gunther is really coming into his own as far as cutting heel promos and getting rid of the "you tapped out" chants. It comes up every show, and I think of you every time that the crowd chants it. It's
It
annoying.
makes me so mad.
It's
It
so
makes
frustrating.
listen, out of all the things that have happened while Triple H has been in charge, that is the worst decision he ever made.
Oh, that is a bold statement right there.
Is having Gunther tap out.
That's a bold statement. That's bold. But Gunther has done a really good job of finding ways to combat it in his promos and getting rid of it and all that kind of stuff. All right. I have to address the Seth Rollins situation. Okay. For those of you who are living under a rock and not following what's going on, or you're new to the program, thank you for being here. Let me catch you up. Seth Rollins, a couple weeks ago at Saturday night's main event, hurt his knee. And initial reports say it doesn't look good. Rollins said it doesn't look good. He's going to be on the shelf for a while. Becky Lynch even posted a picture of her daughter and Seth walking, and Seth was on crutches. Seth was on the Rich Eisen show and said he was on crutches, and nobody has said anything definitive other than he's going to be out for a while. Now, as we say with injuries on this show all the time, we never wish injury on somebody, and we never want to doubt if somebody is legitimately hurt. However, Andy, there are just a lot of signs pointing here that he's not really hurt. The biggest sign being that he's done this to us before. Just 3 years ago, he did this.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, and weigh in on this again, because or maybe signs that you're seeing that maybe he is or isn't hurt, or maybe you think he's legitimately hurt and I'm just fishing here. But the biggest thing here, Andy, I noticed it last week and I just kind of brushed it off, but then it popped back up this week. Paul Heyman toting that briefcase around. Why? If Rollins is going to be out for 9 months, and you're going to be on TV every week, do you need to remind everybody every week that Seth Rollins is going to be back in 9 months or whatever? Like, I don't know, Andy. That screams just nuggets of things to me.
Yeah, I kind of see both sides. I lean towards him actually being hurt just because of going back and watching the match and where it happened. Because I think it got worse on the Lion Salt, but it definitely happened on the Swanton. His knee did something. It didn't look great. But I
thought honestly when he springboarded for the Swanton that he kind of lost his balance a little bit. Something kind of maybe went wonky there too. So who knows?
Yeah. I think it is very weird that Paul Heyman is still coming out with the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think part of it is because they're not letting us know anything about the injury, which I if he is really injured, I love that they're not telling us because that
Sure.
just builds even more anticipation for when he comes back and cashes in whenever he comes back and wins the title. Um, unless somehow, some way they give it to Breaker and Breaker uses it to cash in and win the world title. And then Seth can come back and they can start that feud a little bit. Cause
Okay. So
again,
that's
going back to the promo tonight, him saying, "This is my ring. These are
yep.
my," like he's talking about him. He's not talking about Seth. So I
And
think there's
talking
just,
about and making plans and all that.
yeah. So I think there's a lot of different scenarios they can go, whether he is injured or he's not injured.
So you kind of like the idea. So obviously we saw from the get-go this group surrounding Seth that Braun Breaker was the next guy, and ultimately Seth is going to be the one to crown him the next guy,
Yeah.
making him a humongous babyface. So you're saying you kind of like the idea of them reversing roles. Maybe Breaker is sort of the heel and the one dominating, and then Seth is the one to come in and be the vigilante and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
think that, I mean, I like that aspect of it more. I think you can do something where maybe Seth comes back and is like trying to be buddy buddy with Braun and like
yeah,
trying to get back in where he was, and Braun and Bronson and even Paul are like, no, like you're fragile, you're weak. Like,
you're going.
we we didn't need you when we did all this. You can find your new place.
Mm,
And then that can kind of flip that role a little bit. But I mean, he literally, Paul Heyman called him the next big thing, the big dog. Like, he used a lot of terms that have been used for a lot of the biggest names in WWE, and I don't think that was just, for no reason. I think it was done with
absolutely.
intention to start that process of building him up now.
Absolutely. All right. Let's get back to the participants in this match. I told you Seth just plays a huge role in this.
He does.
But CM Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk needs the championship. Gunther, 80% of the time that he's been in WWE, has been a champion. So, what's your prediction here?
My head and my heart actually match this time
Uh
when it comes
oh.
to a CM Punk match, because I think we have a brand new world heavyweight champion walking out of SummerSlam, and his name is CM Punk. I think Punk wins the world title and goes on a run for a little bit, and then, maybe Seth cashes in, maybe Breaker cashes in, whatever the case is. But I think Punk walks out as world champ.
I have to stick to my guns that I said. I don't even remember when I said it. I need to keep talking these. But you'll remember I said this a long time ago. I don't think CM Punk becomes world champion ever. And I'm sticking to that because at the end of night one of SummerSlam, I do think this main events. And we do have a new world champion. His name is Seth Rollins, because I truly believe that I'm probably 50-50 on this injury thing, but I believe I told you this when Punk won the gauntlet match, that he won so that Seth can ultimately rip this away from CM Punk and become the world champion. Now, there's a scenario where Punk wins the match, wins the title, and then Rollins cashes in on him so that he holds the title for a shorter time than Drew McIntyre, and then Drew control him and,
Yeah.
restart that feud. That would be hilarious. But I think that it's Heist of the Century Part 2. We make it a triple threat, and Punk hits a GTS, and as he's trying to go for the cover, there's a stomp, and that's it. And Rollins wins. Now, whether he's fully cleared or not, and we're just going to hold on to this title, I don't know. But I just think I have to stick to my gut when Punk won that match. I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going. I will be not shocked if I'm wrong, but man, I'm out. I'm gonna jump through the roof if it happens, because it's gonna be a huge pop. It's gonna be awesome. All right, let's move on to another championship match. Let's go to the women here on the SmackDown side. Tiffany Stratton defending against the Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill. Andy, I've told you before, and I I can't shake this feeling, man. I still feel like this is just a weird pairing. Like, this is a weird way to have this match because I mean,
Yeah.
I know we do face versus face a lot of times. This one's just weird to me because, like, Jade's getting a title shot, but Naomi and Bianca are nowhere to be found, and we're not wrapping that. It's weird.
Yeah, it does feel a little weird. And this is not the SummerSlam match I thought we would end up getting.
Right.
I think it'll be fine. I think the match itself will be fine, but I think the build up to it has not been the best going into it. So I don't really know fully what to expect. This is kind of a toss up in a lot of ways for me of who's going to walk out and who's going to win.
Okay, you got to pick it though. Who do you think?
Man, there are 9 title matches on this card.
I know.
So that means there has to be some title changes, and I picked one already. I think I'm picking another one. I think I'm going to go Jade Cargill walks out as the women's world champion. I think she walks out as the WWE women's champion and holds that thing for a really long time on SmackDown.
Okay. Let's go 3 for 3 here. I'll go the opposite because, again, I don't think this is the way Jade wins the championship. I know she's going to win it, and I know she's going to hold it for a very long time. I don't think this is the way she does it. But then again, I don't know what else we're going to do with Tiffany unless we do a program. The long-awaited long feud with Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton is what I'm waiting on, and we haven't done it yet. So
I don't know if we're going to get it either.
Well, we should. But anyway, I'm going to go Tiffany here. I'm going to go Tiffany to retain, and I don't know what's next as far as that goes. Let's stick in the women's division. Let's go tag team championship. The newly formed Judgment Day team of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez taking on the unlikely duo of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Andy, I'm not sure of her recovery time, but do you think there's a chance we see Liv here? Is it too soon? What do you think?
I think there's always a chance that Liv could come back and make a return. I don't see it happening at SummerSlam. I think it's probably going to be a couple months, if not a little longer, because it was the injury she got did not look good either. It looked really bad. I haven't heard much about it since it happened.
Nope.
But I think this is going to be a very interesting match because I think Raquel has gotten so much better.
Yes.
Honestly, since Liv got hurt, I think Raquel has gotten so much better. Roxanne Perez is, what we all thought she would be, and that's really, really good. And on the other side, you have Charlotte and Alexa, who, are both fantastic wrestlers as well that can hold their own. So I think this one could have a lot of potential. I think this one could be a really, really standout match for SummerSlam.
Yeah, I agree. Especially they're putting Charlotte in this spot, and they're putting arguably the most popular women's wrestler on the roster right now, Alexa Bliss, because, dude, every time that music hits, this is not just me saying this because I'm an Alexa Bliss fan. Every time that dang music hits, I feel like the pop gets louder and louder and louder for her. It's crazy. And I thought the height of her career was like 2018, but my goodness, like, this is incredible. So to put the trust in those two for this match, and then like you mentioned, Raquel's getting so much better. Roxanne is in her 5th PLE of the year?
I think so.
Something like that. And it's just, newcomer of the year, like across the board. Nobody's even close. Like, she has done some incredible things. I don't think Liv's ready to come back either, which is why I'm picking Raquel and Roxanne to retain here in some way. Now, whether Charlotte and Alexa turn on each other, probably, I don't know, but it wouldn't shock me for Charlotte just to walk out on Alexa, but I don't know. I'm not sure how that's going to go yet, but with Liv not being ready, we need to keep this duo of Raquel and Roxanne as strong as possible until that happens. So I'm picking them to retain here.
It's the first one tonight that we agree on. I'm picking Judgment Day to retain as well. Basically for everything that you just said. I don't think Charlotte and Alexa are gonna live through the night. I think they're gonna break up at some point during the match. I think it would be really interesting if it was Alexa that walked out on Charlotte.
Okay.
And not in like necessarily a heel way, but just walked out on her, maybe playing into something else that's going on, maybe, split personality thing that they've sort of been teasing sometimes and then sometimes not teasing at the same time. So I don't really know what to expect, but I really think this is probably the easiest one for me to predict so far. And I think it's Judgment Day retains.
All right. I like it. Well,
Which means you're probably wrong.
Here's another one that I think is easy to predict, but there's an element of this that has really, really, we're not sure about yet. The team of Randy Orton and Jelly Roll Jelly Roll, you heard me right, taking on Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. Now, the elephant in the room, Andy, is this Drew McIntyre situation of him being stuck in England because of the wrong passport or something. I know he has dual citizenship, and so I'm not exactly sure of the logistics of the passport and all the nonsense. I also know that Drew McIntyre has the tendency to lie, for lack of a better term, and work us. Bully Ray on Busted Open is adamantly saying this is a work, this is a work, this is a work. There's no way this is real, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? I mean, it's plausible, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's very plausible, but again, it's Drew McIntyre, and I think he went to the Cody Rhodes School of Lying. So I really don't know. I mean, you don't really know what to expect.
He and Cody collectively started the school.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. I can see it being true. I can see it being a work at the same time. But again, in this situation, I don't know why you would work it. I don't know what the point of the work would be unless they're playing some big angle on Friday of Logan by himself now, and it's a 2-on-1 handicap match, which to me never made sense to do that with two baby faces versus one heel. I hate that dynamic. So I don't know if it is true and Drew can't make it. Maybe we see the debut of Jake Paul in WWE.
Oh, it's fun. Okay.
Or maybe, I'm trying to run through the list of people that Logan Paul would call it. Maybe KSI or I Show Speed again would show up.
I'll tell you who. Let's call back to his debut match. How about The Miz? If you're looking for somebody,
is he a face now or is he a heel?
No, he's a heel. Because he wrestled Jacob Fatu on SmackDown.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
I would think that if you're looking for somebody, City Kitty in the chat, by the way, Drew is a drama king. Clearly, he is. Yes. I think if you're looking for somebody to get heat on Jelly Roll and on Randy Orton and somebody to help Logan Paul out on the mic who can get to that Drew level as far as mic work is concerned, I think Miz is an easy answer here. Now, you always say if you're replacing somebody, you want to upgrade. The Miz is not an upgrade from Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
But who else are you going to get unless you get Jake Paul or something? Yeah. But
unless the match starts and they're both standing there and Randy just RKO's Jelly Roll.
Yeah. It's very possible. That's very possible.
It's a big callback. It'd be obviously Cody's not involved, but that's how Cody joined Legacy was in that kind of way. So, it's just kind of an interesting aspect that could happen.
Didn't you mention that a couple weeks ago?
I did.
I felt like you did.
I think this is how we get heel Randy.
Okay. I like it. All right. From that perspective, what do you expect from Jelly Roll? When we saw a big time boss man slam on SmackDown,
that looked good too. It looked
a little movement. Yeah.
It looked good. I'll say this. Jelly Roll has slimmed down a lot.
Yep.
And from the last couple of weeks, the dude can cut a promo. The dude cut a fantastic promo, and you can tell that he has worked hard to do this.
Yep.
He's worked hard to do what he's done.
Yep.
Do I think he's going to be as good as Bad Bunny? I don't. I think he's going to be a lot better, though, than a lot of other celebrities we've had in the past.
Yep.
Because this new generation of celebrities that they bring in to wrestle, they, for the most part, except for Travis Scott, they seem to take it very seriously.
Sure.
And they seem to want to actually do this and, do something with it. So Am I expecting it to be a 5-star match? Absolutely not. But am I expecting it to be entertaining? I am. I think it's going to be a very entertaining match, and I think Jelly Roll is going to be a big part of it.
For those of you who may not have heard this, by the way, Fight Nation on SiriusXM is now Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7. It is all pro wrestling all the time on SiriusXM channel 156. So make sure that if you have a Sirius subscription, lock it in. There's some great shows there. There's some shows that I don't care to listen to, and I'm not going to mention those by name, but there are some really, really, really good shows on that. Sam Roberts has a live show there Monday through Thursday at noon Eastern, and he interviewed Damian Priest last week. And Priest was talking about this very thing because obviously he knows about celebrity involvement, was talking about Jelly Roll, and he had a really good perspective on outsiders coming in and wrestling and all that kind of stuff. So do yourself a favor and go check that out. I know a lot of people are, of course, down on this, and we can fight the AEW battle all we want, blah, 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 whatever. We're not going to do that. I'm just saying, go listen to the interview. It's a really cool perspective from a full-time wrestler who does not have a spot on the SummerSlam card, his perspective of what's happening. So just go listen to that if you haven't already. Prediction time for the match, though. I'm going to take the baby faces. I think there's no way that Randy Orton and Jelly Roll do not win this match unless Randy RKO's Jelly Roll. What do you think?
So mine's a it depends. If Drew McIntyre is in this match, I honestly think Drew and Logan are going to win.
Okay.
And I think Drew gets the win over Jelly Roll, pins him 1, 2, 3 after a Claymore. If it's not Drew McIntyre, then I think babyfaces win. I think that's, I don't know if I can make that prediction, but I'm going off the assumption that Drew will be there. And I honestly think that Drew McIntyre needs a win, and he needs to start to build himself up as that dastardly heel again. And if he kicks Jelly Roll's face off and pins him, then I think that's a great start to building back up to where he was.
Okay. I'll let you have that contingency because I can see it, because this match truly may be up in the air. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to cancel the whole match because they're advertising Jelly Roll, but Drew McIntyre's involvement definitely up in the air. All right. One more match on night one. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I know this is a lengthy episode, and we're going to try to get through the rest of these matches as quickly as we can, but Andy, a match that I am very glad that is on the SummerSlam card, Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn, part 3 of the trilogy, a trilogy that I didn't expect to see, but here we are. Andy, their Saudi Arabia match really, I think, solidified their spot on this card, because look, we mentioned there's 2 championships not on the card, and yet Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross makes the SummerSlam card. I just mentioned Damian Priest, who does not have a SummerSlam match. Aleister Black does not have a SummerSlam match, but Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross do. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. My only analysis for this match, Kross has to win. Kross has to win. He should have won in Saudi. He should win at SummerSlam.
He won on Raw. He won on Raw.
He has to win. He has to win on a pay-per-view. Kross. Listen, the crowd has been chanting for weeks, we want Kross.
No,
he needs this win.
I agree.
Needs it.
I agree that he needs the win. I just don't think he's getting it. I think Sami Zayn's going to win. And I don't know what we're on the rise to next for both guys, but I think Sami wins the 3rd match of the trilogy again, because it's on pay-per-view. Kross needs it. You're 100% right. I'm with you. Just don't think it happens. We'll see. All right. Appreciate you guys being tuned in with us here on Squared Circle Radio Live. That's Andy York. My name's Chris Belcher, and this show is live every Monday night after Raw. It's live after pay-per-views. It's even live in the middle of the week when we get an unexpected passing in the world of wrestling. If you missed our tribute show to the Hulkster last Thursday, go back and check it out in our archives, available wherever you get your podcast, and of course on our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the show, please make sure that you do that. That helps us a ton.